They said that it's delivered at 3 o'clock. Yeah.
We'll be up here. I'll go check the back.
Saturday. Yeah, it was a sexual innocence. I was going to pay out that, Can you tell me the address, see if this is right or this is my son? He said,
I get it. Okay. Okay, so the staff will check the plan. Let you know. Yeah, they are looking for it at the time. Yeah, we'll just check. Just not me, let the word know.
Those were कितना बजे तक रहेगा? 10 बजे 10 o'clock तक?
Should we go talk to Shane? I want to go talk to Shane
Okay.
because we don't have his phone.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lalita Maharaj. I'm the eldest son of Dhirendra and Lalita Prasad. On behalf of my father-in-law today, Dhirendra Prasad, his daughters, his grandchildren, and the entire Prasad family, thank you for being here today to remember and honor Lalita Prasad. Today's service will be officiated by Pandit Anil Gautam, who will lead us in prayer and guide us through the ceremony as we say goodbye to Lalita. Lalita was born on March 31st, 1951 in Mela, Fiji, to Shiv Narayan and Leelavati Narayan. She was the eldest of 6 siblings, Satya, Kamala, Nitya, Usha, and Asha. She attended Bunimano Sanatan Dharam Elementary School and later DAV Girls High School. At the age of just 16 years old, she married Dhirendra Prasad on October 27, 1967. Their marriage lasted 59 years, spanning nearly 6 decades of love. In 1969, Lalita and Dhirendra immigrated to Canada. She arrived as a young woman in a new country with an 8-month-old daughter, Renu, far from her immediate family and community she had known in Fiji. She was the mother of 4 daughters, Shalini, or Renu as everyone knows her, Nalini, Angelina, and Jessica. She was mother-in-law to 3 sons, Nav, that's myself, Juan, and Boyette. She was also the grandmother of Shairi, Rianne, Rican, Jordan, Daniela, and our 2 family puppies, Frankie and Melly. My own story with Mom began about 39 years ago at a wedding. I was standing at the juice station when I noticed a beautiful lady in a sari walking towards me with a huge smile. She approached me and asked me for a glass of juice, which I served to her kindly. At the time, I thought it was nothing more than an ordinary moment at a wedding. What I did not know was that she was quietly checking me out as a possible future son-in-law. 39 years later, I stand here faced with the very difficult responsibility of saying goodbye to someone I viewed as my own mom. I called her mom because that is how she regarded me. She did not keep me at a polite distance or treat me as someone who had just merely married into the family. She accepted me as her own son. Mom, thank you for welcoming me all those years. Thank you for trusting me with your daughter and for making me part of your family. Thank you for every prayer, every phone call, every word of encouragement, and every time you stood by my corner. Being loved by you as a son was one of the greatest privileges in my life. I will really miss you, Mom. Before we continue the service, I would like to share a few housekeeping items. We originally had planned to keep the castle closed, but that was Mom's wishes. But she was so beautiful, so we thought we'd share her memories with you today. Mom's daughters will be giving a eulogy, and the grandchildren will be sharing their memories of her. The cremation ceremony will take place at 10:10 in the morning this morning. If you are notified to attend the cremation, please come up to the front at that point in time while we ask you all to remain seated for the duration of the cremation ceremony. The cremation ceremony will take approximately 10 to 15 minutes. During this time, we ask you to enjoy the slideshow of Mom's memories. Once the cremation has concluded, we will invite you to form a line from the back so that you may pay your condolences to the family. Thank you again for joining us today and for standing beside the family during this very sad day. Om Shanti.
एक बार बोलो श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। कृष्ण भगवान अर्जुन से गीता में कहते हैं, जब युद्ध भूमि में गए तब अर्जुन देखते हैं कि पितामह है, गुरु द्रोणाचार्य, चाचा, मामा, भाई, बड़ा शोक में पड़ गया। भगवान से कहते मैं इसको कैसे प्रहार कर सकता हूँ, ये तो मेरे दादा है, मामा है, पितामह है, ये तो अपने हैं, मैं इसे मार नहीं सकता हूँ। भगवान कहते कहाँ से तुम ये मोह माया में फंस गए हो? दुनिया में कोई के कोई नहीं है, सब अकेला आते हैं, अकेला जाते हैं। संसार में जो जन्म लेता है वो अकेला ही है। तो दुनिया में जो कुछ करना, अकेला आओ, अकेला जाओ, कोई किसी का नहीं है। भगवान कहते हैं पुत्र, माता, पिता, भाई, बहन, चाचा, काका, माता, कोई किसी का नहीं है। तुम अकेला आए हो, दुनिया में अकेले जाओगे। जो कुछ कर्म करोगे अकेले ही जाओगे। कृष्णा कहते हैं कि कर्मण्ये वास्ते मां फलेषु गदाचता, कि अपना कर्म अच्छा करो, यही सबसे भारी। घर, मोटर, पैसा कुछ नहीं साथ में जाएगा, तुम्हारा कर्म ही तुम्हारे साथ जाएगा। सत्य बोलो, झूठ मत बोलो, सभी का मदद कर दो, कोई भूखा प्यासा में भोजन कराए दो, सभी से प्रेम से बात करो और अच्छे ज्ञान सभी के दो, किसी का बुराई मत करो, झूठ मत बोलो, यही तुम्हारा अच्छा कर्म है, यही तुम्हारे साथ जाएगा, कुछ नहीं जाएगा। तो अपना कर्म अच्छा करना चाहिए। तो यही भगवान को बताया है कि हम लोग यहाँ जितने जन हैं सब मोह माया में फंसे, मरते दम तक ये मोह माया नहीं छूटेगा। भाई, बहन, दोस्त, मित्र, कोई किसी का नहीं है। तुम अकेला आगे, दुनिया में अकेला ही जाओगे। गीता में यही कृष्ण भगवान कहते हैं। भगवान कहते हैं जैसे पुराने वस्त्र उतार कर नया वस्त्र पहन लिया जाता, वैसे ही आत्मा है। आत्मा ही भगवान की शक्ति है जो हम लोग के हृदय में निवास करता है। वो जब चाहे तब ले ले, कोई किसी को नहीं मालूम है कि कब क्या हो जाए। इसीलिए दिल मन जो चाहे, कहीं घूमना चाहे, कहाँ जाना है, वही मन को तरसाना नहीं चाहिए कि आज मुझे इंडिया जाना, कहाँ जाना है। तो मन जो चाहे वो करो। 480 मिलियन के बाद एक मानव का जन्म मिला है, तो हम लोग उस जन्म में कोई अच्छा कर्म किए होंगे कि भगवान हमें मानव का जन्म दिया। तो बहुत मुश्किल से मानव का जन्म होता है। उस जन्म में कोई अच्छा कर्म हम लोग किए होंगे, हम लोग नहीं जानते हैं। तो हमें अगर मानव जन्म मिला है तो बहुत मुश्किल से मिला, तो जो कुछ मन चाहे तो वही कर लो। बहुत मुश्किल से मानव जन्म को मिलता है कर्म के अनुसार। तो भगवान के धन्य बनाओ कि हे भगवान, हम लोग कोई कर्म किए होंगे कि हमें एक मानव जन्म मिला है। अब मरने के बाद क्या होगा कुछ पता नहीं। भगवान कहते हैं मैं तो बीच में हूँ। मरने के बाद जैसे आत्मा निकलता वैसे भगवान कोई रूप उसको दे देते हैं। जैसे मैंने कहा पुराने वस्त्र उतार कर नया वस्त्र पहना जाता है, तो आत्मा को कोई जीव रूप हो जाता है, बटरफ्लाई या कोई जानवर, पता नहीं कौन रूप में है अभी माता। तो हम लोग यहाँ गीता के श्लोक पढ़ेंगे, गीता पढ़ेंगे तो उससे उन्नति होगा कि आपके पुत्र गीता सुन रहे हैं, भाई बहन, तो उनसे उन्नति भगवान देगा तुम्हें कि किस लोक में तुम ऐसे से होगा। तो मानव जन्म होता है। अगर मरते समय भगवान कहते तुम मेरे नाम ले लिए, राम नाम ले लिया, तो सीधा परलोक, सीधा भगवान के पास तुम चले जाओगे। भगवान के मुख से अगर भगवान का नाम निकल गया, अगर मरते समय बोलोगे मेरे माँ पुत्री है, पुत्र कहाँ है, पति कहाँ है, तो भगवान तुम्हें फिर इस लोक में भेजेंगे, मृत्यु लोक में। कि मरते समय तो मेरा नाम लिया नहीं है, कि जिसके स्मरण करोगे वही तुम जाओगे। तो इसी कारण हम लोग गीता पढ़ते हैं। कृष्ण भगवान अपने मुख से बताया है कि जीव जो आत्मा है उसे ना अग्नि जला सकता है, ना श्वास काट सकता है, ना भिगा सकता है, तो जीव तो अमर है। तो सब हम भगवान से प्रार्थना करें कि प्रभु उस आत्मा को सद्गति प्राप्त करे। ओम वसुदेव स्तम देवम कंसचानुमर्दनम देवकी परमानंदम श्री कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरु। श्री गंगा गीता च गायत्री सीता सत्य सरस्वती ब्रह्म विद्या ब्रह्मलेत्री संध्या मुक्ति गानी तुल निंदा तुल मौनी भक्ति मानिनी पियो नरहा। सभी जन बड़े जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम, जय रघुनंदन जय श्री राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, जय रघुनंदन जय श्री राम। जो मैंने कहा है, क्योंकि हिंदी नहीं समझ सकते तो मैं इंग्लिश में बता देता हूँ। Arjuna, the man Krishna says, Arjuna, the man who knows the soul to be imperishable, eternal and free from death and decay, how and whom will cause to be killed, how and whom will he kill? As a man shredding worn out garments takes other new ones, likewise the embodied soul casting off worn out bodies enters into others that are new. Weapons cannot cut the soul, nor with fire burn the soul, water cannot wet the soul, and wind cannot dry the soul. For this soul, Krishna says to Arjuna, is incapable of being cut or burned by fire, nor can be dissolved by water, and is endurable by air as well. The soul is internal or prevailing, improvable, costing, and everlasting. Krishna says the soul is infamous and it is impressible and is spoken of imperishable. Therefore, knowing is such, you should not grieve. And Arjuna, Krishna said, if you suppose the soul to be subject constant death and dead, even then you should not grieve like this. ओम एक बार बोलो श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय, श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय। कि भगवान कृष्ण जहाँ मेरी माता का आत्मा है उन्हें सद्गति प्राप्त करे, क्योंकि माता जगत में सबसे बड़ा है, पूजनीय है। माता के चरणों में स्वर्ग है, माता नहीं तो संसार अंधेरा है, और माता सभी के दिल में वास करती है, वो कभी जाती नहीं है, सभी के हृदय में रहती है उनका, तो सदा उनके आशीर्वाद रहता है। तो माता जहाँ भी तुमको हमें आशीर्वाद दो, हमारे सब मनोकामना पूर्ण होए। भगवान कहते हैं माता जगत में सबसे बड़ा, उनके आशीर्वाद सदा ही बच्चों के ऊपर रहता। एक बार बोलो श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय, रामायण रानी की जय। एक बार बोलो श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय।
And I wanted to thank you all for being here to honor, remember, and celebrate my mom. Today you will hear things that most of you already know about my mom, but I would like to talk to you about the things that you don't know about her. It's impossible to talk about mom without smiling. To know her is to love her. She had a way of filling the room with warmth, laughter, comfort, and just enough cheekiness to keep everybody on their toes. My dad's pet name for her was Boy. And if you knew them, you could probably hear exactly the way he said it. Mom was a master of games, crossword puzzles, Wheel of Fortune, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. She loved anything that challenged her mind, and she would always beat us. The reason we all scream at our answers at the TV is because of her. She was so smart. She knew everything about anything. She loved going to the casino, the slots. She was a gambler with itchy hands. Mom has had a love for sports. Hockey, soccer, anything Team Canada, Mom was in. She would even watch the junior girls hockey because of course they were Team Canada and they were girls. Most recently, we would call each other to go over FIFA game times and watch and talk about what games we watched that day and of course what key players were on the field. Voting was a big deal to my mom. From the time we turned 18, she made sure we knew when to vote, where to vote, and that our voting packages were ready. Even after I moved out, she would call me on voting day just to make sure that I got out and voted. Mom and Dad always told us that they moved here to give us an opportunity and to give us a voice. She said, Jess, you know there's women out there in the world who are dying for the right to vote. We have to do it for them. That was Mom. She taught us all that the little things mattered, but so did the big things. She taught us to pay attention and to show up and to never take our blessings for granted. She always showed love in the most thoughtful ways. One of my favorite fruits is lychee, and when I lived at home, she would buy it for me every year. After I moved out, I wouldn't buy it for myself because they're too expensive. But Mom would always have my lychee every year. She would always still buy it for me every year and call and leave me a voicemail to say, Jess, your lychee's in the fridge. Mom was an avid reader and loved puzzles. Most recently, we would set up puzzles on Mom and Dad's table so they could work on it slowly over time. But since we're all our mother's daughters, my sisters and I ended up sitting at the table and finishing it ourselves. So I guess you could say we still did puzzles together as a family. Mom is also a music lover. She liked to boogie. She loved oldies and she had really good taste in music. Some of her favorites were Rod Stewart, Elvis, the Bee Gees, Blondie, Tom Jones, and anything Motown. French vanilla coffee and Nanaimo bars were her favorite too. One day I showed up at Mom's house with a box of Nanaimo bars and I said, Mom, I have a treat for you. And as I walked in the house, she started laughing and I said, what? She says, I have a treat for you. And in the fridge, she pulled out the exact same box of Nanaimo bars she had bought for me. That story says so much about her. She knew us, remembered what we liked, and she paid attention. She loved us in the small, steady, beautiful ways that somehow meant everything. Everyone had a seat at Mom and Dad's table. Everyone had a pillow to lay their head and a safe place to call home. Many of you here had the pleasure of being taken care of her. You were all her kids. All of your kids are her grandkids. She prayed for you all. She packed out food for you just like she did us. She made cha or sent you with homeless spices from her stash. She was she was a mom to more than just my sisters and I. Her love reached far beyond our home and to so many people. Mom, please know that it's in these small traditions that we will honor you. We will remember you in the puzzles at the table, the music playing in the background, the sports games that we watch, the jokes we share and the cha we make, the food we pack up, the votes we cast, every little thing we do to make someone feel special. Your spirit will live in all of us forever. You did all the right things, Mom. You showed up in all the right ways. You loved each of us exactly the way we needed. And now, I would like to call on my sister Angie to come up and talk about what those ways were.
Hi. When I sat down to think about my mom, I realized that there was one thing that defined her more than anything else. Mom loved deeply. She loved God. She loved my dad. She loved her 4 babies and their spouses, her 5 grandchildren, her fur babies, her family, and yes, she loved her sweets and her iPad. But more than anything, Mom's love language was caring for people. She didn't just tell you she loved you, she showed you, usually with food. As everyone knows here, Mom and Dad had shared an extraordinary love story. They were married for 59 years, and through every season of life, they remained each other's greatest blessing. Every morning, Mom would wake up early to make Dad fresh, hot breakfast, pack his lunch, and send him off to work. Before starting her own day, she would stand at the front window and watch him leave, making sure he was safely on his way. Dad worked during the day while Mom worked in the evenings, so that none of her children would ever have to go to daycare. Family was always first. After Dad left, Mom would crawl back into bed for a little rest before getting ready for the day. She would shower, spend time in her daily prayers, and then begin preparing lunch and dinner. When they both retired, their routine became even sweeter. They simply loved being together. Their love wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy. It was found in breakfast every morning, dinner every evening, and 59 years of choosing each other every single day. Mommy's kitchen was the heart of our family. It wasn't just where food was made. It was where love was served. Looking back now, I realize Mom had a special gift. She somehow always knew what everyone wanted before they even asked. A couple weeks ago, Neb called. "Hi, Mom, what are you and Dad doing?" Mom replied, "We're home, Beta. Are you coming over?" Neb responded, "Let me check with Rin to see if she's feeling well enough to come over." The phone had barely been hung up before Mom went downstairs to grab the goat meat, her favorite black pot, and something vegetarian for Ren. I laughed and said, "Mom, you don't even know if they're coming." Without missing a beat, she smiled and said, "I know they'll come." Sure enough, Neb called back a little while later to say they would be there around 4:30. Mom looked up at me and said, "Stay so Daniela can see her Mosi and Mosa." Of course we stayed. She wouldn't let Daniela and me leave until the goat curry was finished cooking because she wanted us to take some home. I even have a voice message from Mom saying, "Neely and the kids are coming, why don't you come too?" That was Mom's way of trying to convince me to come over. When Mom made dal, she knew it was one of Neely's favorites. She would make a big batch so Neely could take some home. She would ask if Dan was coming too, because if he was, she'd happily whip up one of his favorite dishes. And truthfully so, Dan was always content with a fresh home-cooked meal. Whenever Mom asked if any of my other siblings were coming over, I mentioned Jess and Boy at birth. She'd start making aloo fry, lamb curry, or whatever they had been craving. Recently, Jess asked Mom to make bolosami. Of course, Mom made it happen. It was absolutely delicious. Dad suggested they save some for Neely, but Mom immediately replied, "No, I'll make Neely a fresh batch." Prior to Mom's passing, she had already marinated fish for Anna. She was also planning to pick her fresh bacon for Shari if the vegetables she had planted weren't ready before Shari came home. When Mom made lamb soup, she would always make extra so Regan and Jordan could take some home. If she made pumpkin curry, she made sure to save some for Sean. Mom never asked, "What would you like?" She already knew. She knew everyone's favorite dish, and she made each one of us feel special in our own way. Mom cooked for an army. Looking back now, I realize I inherited that from her because I do exactly the same thing. Her grandchildren were no different. When Shari, Anna, Regan, and Jordan were younger, Nani would stock up on Dunkaroos and would bake her famous chocolate chip cookies and banana bread. Nani would pack a separate baggie of chocolate chip cookies for Jordan, and then we would pack the rest, and then she would pack the rest for us. And it wasn't just her grandchildren who was spoiled. Nani absolutely adored her fur grandbabies, Frankie and Melly. If Mom knew the pups were coming over, she'd have a fresh roti ready for them. Frankie would patiently sit beside Mom while she was making roti, watching every move she made. Mom would sneak Frankie one fresh roti, then another. And just when we thought she was finished, she'd quietly walk into the living room and feed Frankie the third roti. We would all laugh because we would all laugh just like the rest of us. Frankie knew exactly where to go for the best food and the biggest heart. Daniela and I would FaceTime Mom and Dad on a daily basis. However, on Fridays, without fail, Mom would ask Daniela, "What would you like to eat for lunch tomorrow?" She already knew we'd be coming over on Saturdays. Daniela would happily ask Nani she wanted fries, pindi roti, and chicken wings, and somehow Mom always made it happen. Mom would even make one of my favorite dishes when I would have been perfectly happy eating whatever she had prepared for Daniela. Those weren't just lunches. That was Nani loving her granddaughter. A couple weeks ago, Mom made her famous banana bread. She made 2 loaves and called Daniela over. "Baba, come pick which one you would want to take home." I quietly asked Daniela to choose the smaller loaf so Nani could give the bigger one to her Mosies or Nani's besties. Instead, Mom handed Daniela the bigger loaf because that's who she was. Food wasn't just food. It was how Mom said, "I'm thinking about you." We can't talk about Mom without talking about her sweet tooth. Mom always had ice cream, candy, chocolate, or Indian sweets tucked away somewhere. She'd tell everyone they were for her grandchildren, her girls, or her sons-in-law. But we all knew better. Those treats were for Mom. She'd quietly sneak away her chocolate while playing games on her iPad and tell Dad, with the biggest smile, "It's my medicine." When I make tiramisu, Mom would always say, "If there's any extra, Ange, leave some for me and Dad." Every Halloween, I would make treat bags for my 5 babies, my sisters and their spouses, my husband, my nephew Nicholas, and my brother-in-law Maddie. Yes, even the grown-ups got Halloween goodie bags. If I prepared them at Mom and Dad's house, I'd always catch my mom digging through my candy stash, picking out all her favorites. I'd tease her, "Mom, I guess your diabetes must be doing really well." She grinned from ear to ear and simply said, "Sometimes I have a craving." Whenever I baked, I always made extra for Mom's besties too. Just the past Mother's Day, I made high tea boxes for all the special women in my life. The next afternoon, Mom called me so excited. She told me how much she and Dad had enjoyed everything, but she couldn't stop talking about the egg salad sandwich. She was so happy because she had eaten the entire sandwich without any discomfort swallowing. Hearing the excitement in her voice made my heart so full. When I bought baked goodies to my parents' place, I would make a box up for Chantal Auntie and Urmila Auntie as well. Mom reminded me not to pack too many sweets for Urmila Auntie and Chantal Auntie because they needed to watch the sugar. I laughed and reminded Mom that she and Urmila Auntie were 2 sneaky badmasses when it came to sweets. She just smiled. "Mom, I'll keep trying to convince Juan to eat his vegetable, even though I don't think I'm going to win that battle. And I guess I'll have to learn from Dad how to make your chicken curry, duck curry, and giblet because those recipes deserve to live on. Mom, thank you. Thank you for every meal, every lunch packed with love, every loaf of banana bread, every container of dal, every bowl of curry, every piece of chocolate you called your medicine. Thank you for every Saturday lunch with Daniela. Thank you for never letting us leave your house empty-handed. Most of all, thank you for teaching us that love doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes love looks like waking up early to make breakfast. Sometimes it looks like packing leftovers before someone asks. Sometimes it looks like starting a pot of goat curry before you even know anyone is coming. Sometimes it looks like knowing exactly what everyone loves before they even ask. That was you. You always put everyone else before yourself. Mom, you were there when I took my very first breath. And I was there holding your hand when you took your last. From my first breath to your last, what an incredible blessing it has been to be your daughter. Thank you for loving me so completely, for believing in me, for guiding me, and for showing me what unconditional love truly looks like. Mom, our hearts are broken, but they are always full, so full, because you were blessed to be loved. We were blessed to be loved by you. Your kitchen may be quiet now, but your love will continue to fill our homes, our tables, and in our hearts. Every time we gather around the table, every time we make one of your recipes, every time we sneak a piece of chocolate and jokingly say, "It's my medicine," you will be with us. We love you, we miss you, and we will carry your love with us for the rest of our lives. I'm going to hand over the microphone to Neely, who will be sharing how Mom Nani showed up for her kids.
When it comes to my mom, the first thing that comes to my mind is love. Not the kind that needed grand gestures or big words, but the quiet, steady kind that showed up every single day. Mom had the gentlest soul, the kindest heart, and a way of making everyone around her feel safe, loved, and accepted. Initially, as her daughters, we always came first. Mom gave herself without any hesitation, never expecting anything in return. Her happiness came from taking care of the people she loved the most. And then came along her 5 grandkids. Her heart somehow grew bigger. Possible? Most would say no, but we know that it did. Her grandkids became her greatest joy, and they knew that Nani and Nana's house was a place where they could just be kids. There was always an unspoken rule at Nani and Nana's house, and that was, there were no rules. There was always room for ice cream with sprinkles, a quick McDonald's run, or French fries for breakfast. It wasn't because Nani wanted to spoil her grandkids, but more so it was because she wanted every moment they spent with her to be filled with happiness, comfort, and unconditional love. And when I say unconditional love, I mean because Nani's 2 fur babies became a part of this circle. To Mom, family wasn't just the people she loved. It included every heart she welcomed into their home. Mom was selfless in every sense of the word. She was caring, gentle, kind, and soft-spoken. She never needed to be the loudest in the room because her actions spoke so much louder than words ever could. Her heart was one of a kind, one that always saw the good in people and gave love so freely. As her daughters, one of the greatest gifts she gave us was showing us what it truly means to be a mother. She didn't just teach us how to be moms, she taught us how to be the very best moms that we could be. Through her patience, unconditional love, her endless sacrifices, and the way she put her family first, she showed us that motherhood wasn't measured by what you say, but what you do every single day. We are all the mothers that we are because we have the privilege of being raised by her. The greatest gift she leaves behind isn't something we can hold. It's the example she set. She taught us that kindness matters, that family comes first, that love is found in the little things, and that a gentle heart can have the greatest strength of all. Everything Mom did was rooted in love, and that love came from somewhere even deeper. Her faith was the foundation of her life. It guided her, the way she treated others, the compassion she showed, and the quiet strength she carried through life's challenges. While we knew her as a devoted wife, a mother, a grandmother, a sister, an aunt, and a friend, she first saw herself as a woman of faith. Mom, be courageous and be brave. We love you, Mom, and now I'm going to pass it on to my sister.
Today, I have to say goodbye to my first love, my mama. She has loved me the longest since the moment I was conceived. She was only 18 years old when she became a mother, an 18-year-old girl who had never experienced much of the world, never read a parenting book, and had no one to teach her how to be a mother. Yet, instinctively, she knew how to love completely, selflessly, and unconditionally. Looking back now, I believe that love came from her greatest strength that she possessed. It was her faith. Mom taught us many things, but the greatest gifts that she gave me, our family, and everyone fortunate enough to know her, was not simply her belief in God. It was the way she lived with that belief every single day. Our mother was a devout Hindu. Her faith wasn't something that she practiced only in prayer. It was woven into every moment of her life. Every day of the week, she honored a different aspect of God. On Sundays, she lit a candle for Jesus, reminding us, although religion may look different, God is one. Lord Shiva, in his many forms, as Shiv Parvati, as Nag Baba, and most importantly, as Lord Hanuman, was her greatest source of strength. She taught us that God reveals himself in many ways. The Bhagavad Gita says, one who sees me in everything, one who sees me everywhere, sees everything in me, and is never separated from me. That is my mom. She saw God everywhere, in every person, in every animal, in every sunrise, and every act of kindness. Every morning she greeted the rising sun with an offering of water. Before she thought about herself, she fed her birds. Before taking her own breakfast, she offered prasad to God. Everything she had was first an offering of gratitude. She gave thanks for nourishment at every meal. When Mom prayed, she never prayed for herself. She prayed for her grandchildren, her puppies, her children, Dad, our families, our friends, and anybody she knew that she was suffering. Then only would she ask for herself. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that we should perform our duties without expecting anything in return. That was how Mom lived. She never loved for recognition. She never gave expecting gratitude. She never helped because it benefited her. She simply believed that caring for others was her duty and her way of serving God. She gave so much of herself, at times it came at the expense of her own health. But she never complained, because loving others was simply who she was. When I read the Gita, I can't help but think that Lord Krishna was describing my mom when he said, the one who is free from hatred toward all beings, who is friendly, who is compassionate, free from possessiveness and ego, steady in joy and in sorrow, forgiving, content, self-controlled, and firmly devoted to God, that person, he is very dear to me. Those words describe my mom to a T. She was kind, she was compassionate, she forgave easily, she loved without limits, and she accepted everyone exactly as they were. Even Melly and Frankie became a part of that instant love. She would smile and say, these beautiful creatures were placed in our homes by God. Aren't we the lucky ones? That was Mom. She simply didn't read scripture, she lived it. For faith guided her in every part of her life, especially the way she loved family. Every one of us children called Mom when life became overwhelming. We would unload our worries, our frustrations, fears, and heartbreak. And somehow, Mom would always know exactly what to say. Her advice always pointed us back to God, to patience, to gratitude, to faith, forgiveness, and trust. To me, my mama's words were gospel. I would come to her anxious, angry, or discouraged, and somehow she would always calm my heart, my mind. And lately, without fail, she called me daily. And she would ask that one question, "Tum theek hai bachcha?" Those words became my comfort and an awareness that I've always been watched over. These past 5 months have been one of the hardest in my life. Through every moment, whether I was conscious or unconscious, frightened or simply trying to survive, I found myself searching for my mama, her meals, her love, her presence. My family tells me I would not eat anything except my mommy's food, even in unawareness I sought my mom, because I knew where her strength came from God. I truly believe that her prayers carried me when I couldn't carry myself. Her faith was so absolute that she prayed to God to spare me from suffering and let her carry the burden. That is the love that I will never fully understand, but it is the purest reflection of the love she believed God had for all of us. She taught us that this is how God loves, with complete selflessness. She spent her life trying to love others the same way. Mom believed that when we surrendered ourselves to God, we never faced life's burdens alone. The Gita reminds us, take refuge in me alone, do not grieve. Those words brought my mother peace throughout her life, and I know they would be words that she would be offering all of us today. Finally, there is one truth from the Gita that now holds me together as I say goodbye. The soul is never born, nor does it ever die. It is unborn, eternal, everlasting, and ancient. The soul is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. Mom, I believe this with every fiber of my being. So today, I do not say goodbye to her love. I say goodbye to her presence. I will not hear her voice the same way again. I will not hold her sweaty hand again. I will not see her smile or laugh uncontrollably again in front of me. I will not carry her, but I will carry her everywhere I go, because what she is, what she was, cannot be taken from me. Her prayers are still with us, her love is still with us, her faith is still with us. And the way she taught us to see God in everything and everyone is now part of who we are. Mama, you are our home in every storm. Now we will become the continuation of your love in this world. If we can love even a fraction of how you loved us, if we can see even a fraction of God you saw in everything, then we are never truly alone. You are everywhere we choose to be kind. I know you are pain-free and at peace and doing your work as a mom, as a nanny from above. I love you, Mama. I will spend the rest of my days trying to live in a way that makes you happy. Now I get the pleasure of introducing our greatest gift to my mommy, her grandchildren.
My nanny was less than 10 years older than me when she became a nanny, which means I got to be loved by her for almost half her life. Nanny never said, I love you, but she didn't have to. Her love for all her grandkids showed up in so many ways. Nanny's love was warming up our milk at 6 a.m. with the headboard light so we could crawl into bed with her when Mom dropped us off. It was wrapping me and Anna in her saris so we could play dress up. Nanny's love showed up when she tried to send us home with a whole box of mangoes or when she tried to sneak us a pack of Kit Kat on our way out the door. Nanny's love was boiling 5 jugs of hot water to put in our kiddie pool so we wouldn't be too cold. She loved us so much she'd go to any lengths to spoil us. On more than one occasion, Mom came to pick me and Anna up, only to find us each holding 2 ice cream cones, because we couldn't choose a flavor, so Nanny just gave us both. A couple decades later, and you'll still catch me getting both flavors. In Nani's words, Arekailo. Nani's love was holding my hair back on the side of the highway the day after my university graduation when I was just a little bit hungover. Every time I said I deserved it, she'd just say, Arerando ne bate. Her love for us was trying to send me and Anna to Toronto with a 10-cup rice cooker for a 700 square foot apartment. Every time we travel back, at first from university and then Toronto, we'd feel Nani's love through the phone call we received as soon as we landed. It didn't matter how late it was, she'd always call us on our way home from the airport. And when we go to her house a few days later, her version of I love you is having bacon kachoka, aloo fry, and hot roti ready for us. As soon as we'd walk in the door, we'd see her waiting at the top of the stairs for us. I was supposed to be visiting at the beginning of September, and not even midway through July, Nani was asking what I wanted to eat when I came home. Despite my trip being 6 weeks away, she'd already gone out and gotten jumbly murgi for me. It's waiting in the freezer. Her love for her grandkids didn't just stop at Daniela, it extended to Frankie and Melly. When she FaceTimed me in Toronto, her first words were, "Where's Melly?" And as soon as I turned the camera, I'd hear her go, "Hi, Melly." My heart is broken. My nanny was supposed to be a superwoman who lived forever. She was our strength this year when Mom was sick. I can't imagine life without her calls and prayers. As I think about her life and legacy, I see a part of her in all 5 of us grandchildren. I inherited her green thumb and her crippling sugar addiction. Anna got her quick, wet, and sweaty hands. Jordan got his love for cooking and feeding people. Regan got her sixth sense and psychic abilities. And Daniela got her tenderness and her iPad obsession. Nani loved her kids and grandkids more than anything in the world. So while I know she's not here with us physically, I have no doubt she's up there watching us, making sure all her prayers for us are going directly to the source. I know one day I'll see her waiting for me at the top of another step of stairs. I'd like to pass the mic to Regan, who's going to read a poem that beautifully embodies everything you've heard about our Nani today.
Nani's love was a force of nature. It was as steady as the tides, stronger than distance, and greater than time itself. It lived in more than a hug or a kiss, but gently rested in every gesture, every gift, and every touch. It lived in her food, served in mismatched metal bowls, with some garlic and onion orbiting, spices whirling and twirling on my tongue. It lived in her prayers, whispered daily, every child and grandchild blessed with peace, happiness, and health. Her faith protected and connected us. It lived in her birth language, spoken swiftly across phone lines and dinner tables, among daughters and cousins and siblings, a language of love. It lived in her sacrifices, from Fiji to Canada, crossing invisible borders to get a new life in order. It lived in her traditions, from morning cha for my nana to celebrations, ceremonies, and customs. Every card signed love Nani and Nana. Her love lives in my reflection, my nose, my tan skin, my deep brown eyes that carry her persistence, her prayers, her pride. Because Nani showed me that love is more than a word, it's more than a feeling. Love is our stories, the continuance of our cultures, our time-honored traditions, the communities we create, the way we show up for each other, and the way we mourn and celebrate. So my Nani may be gone, but her love lives in my language, my plate, my prayers, my family, and me. And I think Daniela has something she wants to say. Nani's love is in her food, her care, and the memories we spent together. The bindi and rotis, taste of it, would whirl and twirl in my mouth. used to play on our tablets. We would play on our games. My nanny would take my ice cream out every Friday. Nanny would ask me, what do you want to eat?
Now we'd like to end with a slideshow that celebrates Nanny's birthday.
हसी
Mom. Thank you for joining us today on this very sad day. I'm going to have the designated pallbearers come up, please, as we proceed with the cremation ceremony. In the meantime, can I ask you all to stay seated? This will take approximately 10 minutes, and then we'll come out after the cremation is concluded. At that point, you can come out and meet the family and pay condolences. Thank you. Thank you for your patience.
सभी जन हाथ जोड़ लें कि जहाँ तेरी माता है उनकी आत्मा को सदगति प्राप्त करे भगवान। अगर कोई भूल चूक हुआ तो क्षमा करना। भगवान की दीन दयालु है, तीनों लोग की शक्ति उन्हीं से है। ओम वसुदेवस्तं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानंदं श्री कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरु। सभी जन बोले ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। सभी जन बोले जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। श्री राम जय जय राम। कलयुग तरंग पान कोई राम भजन रामायण। कलयुग में एक ही नाम है राम नाम। भगवान तो अनेक है लेकिन एक ही नाम है राम नाम। एक बार बोलो श्यामल रामचंद्र की जय। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम श्री राम, जय राम। बोलो जय जय राम श्री राम, जय राम, 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 जय जय राम।
So this is the red button.
Which one? This one?
Yeah. When you press this button, what will happen is the flame will start and the cremation will begin.
Okay. So he can do it now?
Whenever he wants.
Okay. Can you please? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah.
So you see now this light has come on. That means the flame is now coming down and onto the casket.
Okay. So it's done, right?
So yes, the cremation is now starting.
Okay. एक बार बोलो श्याम रामचंद्र की जय, बहुत सुखम कृष्ण भगवान की जय। भगवान उन्हीं इसकी आत्मा को, मेरी माँ को सदगति प्राप्त करो। बोलो कृष्ण भगवान की जय।
Thank you for your patience. This service is concluded now. You can come up from the back and say pay your last respects and condolences. Thank you so much for coming today. Namaste.
Yeah.
Yes.